Important investigations, breaking news, and Central Virginia's most accurate forecast. CBS 6 News at 6:30 starts now.
Cars slipping and sliding on ice-covered roads, leading to crashes that cause delays for drivers and more than 100 calls to state police for help. Good evening, everyone. I'm Tracy Sears. This is CBS 6 News at 6:30. We have complete coverage of how this ice storm has impacted our area tonight. Our Joe St. George is live in Richmond, but first we begin with meteorologist Mike Stone to see if this winter weather is expected to continue late into the evening. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Tracy. Well, temperatures right now are in the low 30s. The precipitation over the next few hours will turn a lot more scattered, spotty, and light. So we're not going to be dealing with the types of precipitation, the intensity like we saw during the day today. Downtown, our West Broad Street camera looking eastward just shows some wet roads here as temperatures have gotten actually above freezing downtown. But other areas, we are still in the low 30s, but at least most areas are around the 20s now. It's 32 officially out at the airport, also in Louisa, 31 in Charlottesville, but we're up to 33 in West Point and Petersburg, 35 in Farmville, and 36 in Williamsburg. We still have a winter weather advisory in effect for the I-95 corridor for a little while longer. Areas to the north, though, the winter weather advisory is in effect until about 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. This includes areas like Louisa up towards Orange and Culpeper. It's actually a winter storm warning. King George up to Stafford County because we've had a little bit more ice there. This just means conditions with the temperatures and some spotty precipitation may still create some icy areas on untreated surfaces. There's a review of the last 12 hours as central and eastern Virginia just continues to get wave after wave of this spotty freezing rain. It will turn a lot more scattered, though. Currently, we have one little batch working out of the northern neck and middle peninsula. But then we have this other little batch here from Fredericksburg back towards Spotsylvania, back towards Goochland and Powhatan. So it's in the form of rain and freezing rain. So I'll have just the scattered stuff around this evening with temperatures hovering in the low 30s. And then overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, temperatures will gradually bump up a little bit higher to around 34 degrees at 5 a.m. with some clouds, drizzle, and fog. But we have a rapid improvement for tomorrow afternoon. We'll talk about that as well as a storm for midweek. Coming up, Tracy.
All right, thanks, Mike. Well, the rain and icy conditions caused several accidents on the roadways earlier today. At one point, Virginia State Police say they responded to more than 100 calls for help. Jasmine Norwood has that story.
Accident after accident after accident. Virginia State Police tell CBS 6 they responded to 125 car accidents in a 4-hour period.
We're answering calls as quick as we can for service. Obviously, the ones if somebody's injured or report of injury, we get to them first.
Freezing rain and black ice had I-95 looking more like an ice arena.
This seems really, really slippery.
So some drivers steered clear of the freeways altogether.
Yes, because the people around me, especially the trucks, seem to feel like they can just go and do what they want. So it is about looking out for me and them.
In these conditions, it doesn't take much to make you lose control of your car.
That actually just happened to me up in Short Pump, and it was a nerve-wracking feeling. It was, do I press on the brakes harder? Do I held onto the wheel much tighter? Do I turn? What do I do?
Sergeant Stephen Vick says if you hit the road on a day like this, you've got to be prepared.
Keep a blanket in the car, keep a fully charged cell phone, and know where you're at. If you do get in the crash, you can relay it to us so we can get you the help that you need.
Now, police say if you see someone run off the side of the road, you see someone stuck in a ditch, the best thing you can do for them is call 911. Police say you should not stop, you should not pull over your car or get out of your car to help that person, because in conditions like these, you never know if someone else is going to be sliding off the road and it could turn into a much bigger accident. So just continue on your journey, call 911. That's the best thing you can do to help other people who look stranded. Working for you in Richmond, Jasmine Norwood, CBS 6 News.
All right, thanks, Jasmine. Well, Virginia State Police have released their tally for total wrecks and calls for service this morning. From 8 a.m. until noon, Virginia State Police say they responded to nearly 200 calls, including 125 crashes and 22 disabled vehicles. There were 6 weather-related injuries. Other calls were from stalled and stranded drivers. Well, state police also responded to 5 separate crashes at Route 60 just west of the Chesterfield-Powhatan line. At one point, the accident closed down Route 60 west at Page Road. Here is a live look at the number of people currently without power in the Richmond region. At its peak overnight, thousands were in the dark. Our Joe St. George is live in Richmond to explain what turned out the lights for so many people. Joe.
Hey, good evening, Tracy. It is unclear if this icy weather or the roads were a factor, but an accident took place on Broad Rock Boulevard in South Richmond around 1 a.m. this morning. A driver hitting not one, but two power poles, knocking out electricity for close to 12 hours. Of course, this happening at the peak of this icy storm for so many Richmonders and those in northern Chesterfield. Now, here is a look at the new power poles that were put up within just the past few hours on Broad Rock, right across from the Family Dollar. Eyewitnesses say when the driver hit the poles, it created a large boom and an electrical explosion lit up the night sky. You can see down cable lines and broken wooden stakes mark the spot where the car ended up. We reached out to the Richmond police to find out the condition of the driver or what caused the accidents. We haven't heard back, but eyewitnesses tell us two people were in the car, including a 6-year-old child. For neighbors, the 12-hour outage meant no heat or ability to cook on a very chilly morning.
It was freezing because as soon as the lights went out, all the heaters stopped. I use electric heaters. So once power was out, all the heaters were gone, and we had to keep the doors closed so that way the heat could stay, a little bit of heat that we had could stay in.
A very chilly morning indeed. A lot of people grabbing those blankets tonight at 11. We'll tell you what also contributed to this incident that forced Dominion to take a little bit longer to get the power and the lights back on. Working for you tonight in Richmond, I'm Joe St. George, CBS 6 News. Tracy, I'll send it back to you.